Your wildest dreams are somebody's life, so live it, period. And so I decided to change. It's my life at the end of the day. It's not your own. Hello. So today we have a new body. You have a mic. It's not actually your mic, but like, yeah, we're trying to improve our audio quality. I hope it helps. I hope this is actually improving the quality, and if you like it, just let me know. That would mean a lot. Yeah. So today's video is actually a very special video, and I hope that you're ready. I hope you're ready. Let's get into this, yo. So back in December, it's currently January, so happy new year. I read a book called The Defining Decade by Meg Jay, and it's all over my vlog, and I shared a few pages that I really enjoyed or was controversial, and I wanted to hear like your opinion on it, and I decided that I must talk about this book because it really gave me a different perspective on how I see my 20s. Since I'm in my 20s, my early 20s, I never really felt like it was a big deal, like, to be honest, because like maybe because of I'm here right now, so I never felt like, oh, it's like the defining decade of how the rest of my life is going to be. Until I read this book, I picked it up, and I've been having feelings of like obviously self-doubt, like I'm not really where other people my age are, or in the sense of that I'm not making the amount of money that I want yet, and certain things that I can't afford by myself and people can afford it, all those like yummy feelings. Yes, slimy. So reading this book gave me so much confidence, and you got this girl energy that I really liked because it helped to affirm that I'm actually doing something with my life. Who doesn't like or even love a boost of self-confidence? Yes, who doesn't? So I'm just going to share like a couple of things that I learned from the book, and I hope that this pushes you to go and read the book, because to be honest, I might give you things that I learned, but like there's nothing as precious as reading it yourself. And yeah, thank you, Vivian, for that beautiful introduction. That was beautiful. So welcome back. Thank you. Like, the book is divided into work, love, brain, and body, and I'm just going to add my own special one at the end, so stick around. So first of all, we're going to talk about work. Okay. So she starts with this quotes that relate to each chapter, which is really cute, and I love it. I'm a sucker for quotes. So she starts off with this beautiful quote by Mary Orton. She's a poet, and she says, "We are born not all at once, but by bits." And it's true. Sometimes you see like a celebrity and you're like, oh my god, you are always born like a celebrity, even though those are some people's life story, to be honest. Northwest was born a celebrity. Let's not lie. Some people were just born celebrities, but like other people, like they had to like build steps. They had to build their lives bit by bit and rewrite their own story by themselves. And one thing that we need to know is that your work equals your life, because half of the time you're going to be talking about your work, or you're going to be like at your work most of the time, especially when you're working, because at your 20s is when you enter like the workforce or any other kind of job that you're going to be doing, and anything you eventually do in life is just going to be like, it's going to be part of you at the end of the day. Yeah. And she now says something about, I'm just going to talk about this book. Just know that I'm going to be spilling my own views and opinions and stories that I heard in the book, and also like I've read in other books. Yeah. So everybody goes through identity crisis. Like, who hasn't been through an identity crisis? Like, there was this entire phase of everybody wearing like black outfit. I think it's still on. Well, like everybody was wearing like black outfit. I'm guilty. Black outfit. Then there was this phase of colors. I love colors. Everybody wearing colorful outfits. Then like there's always like so many phases in life, and everybody just like doing stuff, but you don't really know who you are yet. It's just like everybody's trying to find their own like personal style, and I'm just like learning that there is nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with that phase of saying, oh, you are wearing black, now you're wearing colors. And so I decided to change. It's my life at the end of the day. It's not your own. So like it's like an identity crisis, but like some people go through extremes, I'm telling you, in this identity crisis, because Meg Jay is actually a therapist. Do you understand? So like she uses like stories that she gets from her patients. I don't even know if this is legal. And she's writing like this entire book. This is actually what Chimamanda Adichie, if you know her, love her. This is actually what she said.
So I decided that I would go ahead and become a doctor. And I had it all nicely planned out. I would become a psychiatrist, and I would work as a psychiatrist during the day. And at night, I would use my patient stories for my fiction.
She would do when if her parents didn't take her out of med school, like she'd be using her patients to write her fiction books, but this is not actually a fiction novel. But like you get the idea, and somebody is out there living her dream. Let me tell you, your wildest dreams are somebody's life, so live it, period. Now we have heard about identity crisis, but like wait, you need to hear about identity capital, because that one, that's the real deal. Like identity capital is like all the skills and knowledge that you acquire throughout your 20s, you know. Remember that this book is a book about 20 somethings, right? So like that one is like so juicy because like it's like things that you accomplished by your own self. It's not like by yourself, but you did it anyways. Like internships you took, you know, like basically like goals that you ticked off your list, and which is like, you know, it helps you feel good, it helps you look good, you know, if it was, you know, pertaining to your weight or something. And it's like basically how we build ourselves and like carry on throughout the entire years, because like basically what you build, no, I won't like stick with 20s, because like I know people that achieve things like later in age. Like we just had two Grammy winning ladies at their 60s, you know. That's the tricky thing. They are winning Grammys for like things that they achieved way back when they were young. So like yeah, it's still valid. Like things that you achieve in your 20 somethings are things that as you're getting older, like they're going to like be the ones to like clap for you and say, oh yeah. Like if you were a hard worker in your 20s, there's no way you're not going to be a hard worker in your 60s. Or even like you're just going to be thinking about, oh, I did all these great things when I was younger, I can do greater, because like you already have that confidence built into you, because like you're 20 somethings, you are constantly building, which is like a great thing to do. So yeah, this is why I take courses, this is why I push myself to do things, because like when you're in the process of like getting all these things, it just like kind of boosts your confidence that you can do any other thing. Get the vibes? So yeah, go out today, go take a course, work on yourself. Yeah, read a book. It's not as easy as it seems, you know. For some people it has to be like something crazy for them to like work on themselves, like somebody died or something. Or some people, they just make that decision to like change for better. Or like you see like somebody in your family, like, you know, because okay, let me just tell you a story. Like what's this guy, I watch his podcast, I've been like listen, Rob Dahl. So his dad was an alcoholic, you know, daddy yada yada. And you know, he had to see his father die when he was 13, and he like swore to never be like his father. All this kind of change, all this kind of life changes like makes people to say like, I would never be like my father, I will work on myself and all that. So like some people, it has to be that drastic, it has to be that emotional. Some people, they just really want to change their lives, they just want to be better. And you know, you make your peak and know, you know, what you want to do. But basically you have to start building your identity capital, and that's on period. So in weak ties, we're going to be talking about where you're going, you know. So weak ties is like people that are your friends, your family, people that are around you. As you can tell, I'm putting on glasses, so I'm really serious. I hope you're paying attention, you know, because like right now we're in business. You know, people that surround you basically make or break your energy. I'm going to say energy, but your faith, because I'm a Christian, I'm going to use faith. I feel like energy is like new age stuff. Yeah, I was stuck on the internet for like 2 days listening to the word of God, and you know, feeling scared for my generation. So like I'm really cautious about things I say right now. So like yes, it's very important for you to like know the people that you surround yourself with, because they make or break you for real. Like it's not just, oh, they make or break you, it's actually real. Like people that are around you will say if you're going to make $1.5 thousand in a day or in 5 years, literally, because their own psychology, that's me, their own psychology will affect your own psychology. So you have to be like very picky. Yes, be picky, because it will affect you. You have to be picky. Okay, Okay, I'm not saying that you should be bitchy to somebody. Be nice, be a true sweetheart, but like you actually have to be very, mindful about people that you sit around you and all that, because like it affects where you're going to, it affects your vision. Even though you might be very, very, very rigid about where you want to go to, but people that you surround yourself with will actually tell on you. Basically, that's facts. Quote me anyway. He also talks about the customized life. It talks about like, you feeling like, oh, you want to be extravaganza, you want to be like an exceptional person, but like you're also not putting in the work. I actually talked about this on my LinkedIn. I just made a post about it, and it's so nice because like if you're not putting in the work, how do you really know what you want to do? You don't really know. You can't really tell because like you haven't really done much. Do you understand? That's the thing we're talking about them in identity capital. With the thing of the distinction, if you want to be distinct, like you want to be different from everybody, you also need to put in the work, and you might need a mentor. And mentors, I won't lie, therapists, they're expensive. But you can join my squad and read books, listen to podcasts, of experts and people that have gone through life stuffs like Rob Dahl. I talked about him. His dad was an alcoholic, died when he was 13, and literally changed his life. So, these are people that have gone through stuff. So, like, they have like more life experiences because if you have not gone through crazy stuff, you can just listen to their stories on how they went through life and like say, oh, like learn a thing or two, because like they really have value to like offer people like youngies like you and I. So yeah, literally they're really good. They're really good. If you don't have money for a podcast, no, not a podcast, if you don't have money for courses or like a coach or a therapist, please, books, immediately read your books. And I actually made a video on like how to finish more books in 2023, because you're gonna read the books, you're gonna do the work, and change your life. So this is a video on how I read more books in a year, and it's really, really helpful. I talked about different tips like reading ebooks, listening to podcasts on books and all that, because like really any passive information is really welcome as long as we're trying to build our dream self. Yes. So now, get ready for the love doctor because she's about to bring her A game on. Yes, honey. I love you. You love me. I love you. What is bunny? You love me. Right, let's talk about love. Hello, I heard somebody was looking for me. Hi there. So this is the love doctor. So yes. We have some issues to talk about. It's a cohabitation issue. So I heard some girlies and some youngies are feeling stuck in their relationship because they now live together. So have you heard about this crazy thing where boyfriends and girlfriends are like, since I stay in your house so much and you stay in mine so much, let's live together, let's pack our belongings and live together and see how things go from there. Baby girl, that's a trap. Baby boy, that's a trap. Run. Red light, stop. Don't do that. Don't do that, because like that's literally a trap. Okay, it's a trap in a way, but it's not a trap in a way. Let me explain. Don't quote me wrong. So like you feel like, yes, okay, especially if you're the one that initiated this, like, let's live together, since I stay in your house so much and you stay in my house so much, then let's live together. So you feel like you're entitled to not change your mind, and that's a lie. You're entitled to change your opinions. You cannot, you're not like obligated to be like the person that made a decision 5 minutes ago. You can change your mind, and more people need to realize this, because you might need to apologize though. Yes, you might need to apologize since you made somebody move everything and come live with you, but like that doesn't mean that you can't change your mind. You can. You're entitled to change the way you present yourself. You can just be like, oh my god, I'm really sorry, I messed this up, I didn't know that we could not do this year, we are not ready. Because trust me, you might not be ready, especially if the person has like some habits that you didn't know before. Like maybe the person doesn't sleep early, or the person is like really messy with the way they prepare their cereal or something like that. It can be anything literally, and you just be like, oh, you can't take that. And also it helps you like learn yourself, because maybe you didn't know that you had an ick when it was related to this kind of things, but like now you know it. So it really helps with, learning yourself, but still you are not obligated to live with someone that you don't even like for like years, and possibly end up in having a baby, or like saying, okay, let's get married because we have lived. You're not obligated to marry the person, my darling. Please don't do this. It ends in, the divorce rates are high because of things like this. Don't quote me, quote Meg Jay. I think so. Yeah. So yes, you never feel obligated to like, live for so long with somebody. I know relationships are not things that you're meant to rush into. So you take your time with somebody. Don't ever feel because of we're staying in each other's house so much, maybe we should pack our bags and live together. No, take your time. Okay? So now we're going to talk about the up market. So literally like this time in our lives when you're graduated and they invite like speakers. I don't know if Nigerian universities do this. I don't know. You guys tell me, please. So like they invite like experts or influential people to come say things they learned when in university, or how to like influence your life when you're going out into the real world now. No time schedules, no nothing. You're expected to like somehow make it in the world and become big and influential like the person that is speaking with you. So I actually have like a favorite speech, yes. It's by Neil Gorman, I think. So I'm going to leave the link up there because it was so beautiful. I literally enjoyed listening to every second of this. And it's not my video, but like, I think you should listen to it because it's so beautiful. It was a beautiful speech. Darling, he put his heart into this. Yes, I think you will love it. But meanwhile, this man in this school's graduation party or something talked about how marrying the right person is the single most important decision you will ever make in your entire life. Sounds pretty scary, doesn't it? Postponing marriage actually does not make the outcome become better, because it's just like waiting for stew to get ripe or something, water to boil. Yes, eventually the water will boil, but if you keep it for longer, that doesn't mean it will get better. It will just even evaporate. So, it's just about knowing, do I even want to get married? Look, I want to get married. There are a lot of factors when you think about marriage. So, thinking about if you're ready for this. So, if you're ready for marriage, you now start thinking about how to make it happen. You have to actually love somebody, enter a relationship, something like that. I'm just saying, I don't know, maybe you need to be in a relationship. Maybe not. You guys tell me. Another subheading or sub-chapter that was so important, she's always starting with a quote: people love those who are like themselves. It's actually by our fave man. I don't really know much about this man, but Aristotle. Yes, Aristotle. I just had to put on my glasses, maybe to look like Aristotle. I don't know. Just yeah. Sorry. So yes, people basically love people that like themselves. I'm sorry, I have to bust your bubble, but you're obsessed with yourself. I'm obsessed with me. You're obsessed with yourself. You might not know, you might not believe this, but you tend to gravitate towards people that act like you, think like you, and just walk like you, act like you. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Don't feel bad. But it's just something you need to know. So this actually puts more pressure on you to become a better person, because it's actually the person that you presently are that you're going to attract to yourself. So if you are like this, you want to become a better person, we're going to make some money, we're going to go to church, I want to be in the Lord, and if you're just thinking about it in your head, you're not really that person, you're not going to attract that kind of person, because you are not yet that person. So you attract what you are. Like attract, like dislike repel. So you have to know what you are and know that that's where you're going to attract yourself. So if you're not yet where you want to be, you need to start putting in the work. You have to start putting in the hours and decide that you have to change your lifestyles to become that person you want to become, so you can attract that person into your life. And if that's the kind of husband that you want, you can get that kind of husband that you want, and life becomes like this beautiful 180. Yes, life will be beautiful for us, and that's why I love this generation. I'm going to talk about the brain and body. I'm sorry if the light is going down. We're really, really like trying to talk about this really raw because I really want everything to be out. I really want you to get like an overview of the entire book. So even if you don't read it, you just have an idea of how, you know, you're not doing something wrong about your life. If you're on track or if you're not, and how to like change lanes and come back to the right lanes, because that's really what I love about reading books, and that's why I'm sharing this book on here. We start out with forward thinking. Literally, the name says it all, because I'm currently reading The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman. The book is literally like amazing. You know, he talks about like positive thinking, how literally the way you think about how situations are going to come out literally affects how situations are going to come out. So if I think I'm going to get a beautiful video today, I will get a beautiful video. If I think, oh, I'm not even going to say it out loud. I literally do not like saying things negatively anymore, because I just know how the power like that they hold in our lives. So yeah, you know, the other thing, it will come out the other way. But if we are positive and we say, oh, this video is going to be amazing, and someone out there is going to be like so grateful, like they stumbled upon this video and it's literally going to change their life, yes, it's gonna happen, and I'm really positive that it's going to happen. Literally. Life can only be understood looking backward but living forward. You can't live in your past, because if you live in your past, you're not going to get anything done forward. Yeah, does that make any sense? It means that if you do not work towards your goal and you're still thinking about the past like failures, you're never really going to live past it, in the sense of you're not even going to have your future life, because you're already stuck in the past for so long. I don't think we want to do that. No, calm yourself, okay? Calm yourself down. This is another chapter. We're just going to be moving slickly into the next chapter, darling. It's literally about like saying, when you try to like do things and you really feel at it like woefully, and you like say, oh my god, I can never do this again. That's just a challenge. And you know, in our 20s, it's really emotional. Bless me. It's really emotional for us, because like that's what we tie our self-worth to. We tie our self-worth to like that. Self-worth, I hope you're hearing that correctly. Self-worth to that, because you know that's the last thing that we tried to do and it didn't turn out well, and we are like, oh my god, I couldn't do it well. I failed that. Never. It was fire. Never doing that. We excel in everything that we do, and anything that we do not excel at is counted as an opportunity to improve and to grow. That's how we're going to start thinking, honey. This is 2023. It's a year of doings. So nobody's going to be stuck on what didn't work out in 2022. We're going to make it work in 2023, and that's on period. Outside, inaction breeds fear. Why action breeds confidence, and like, you know, I got this energy. You need to read this book, I'm That Girl by Alexis Jones. I haven't really read it, but like I think it's a good read. You know, it's talked about this kind of things, but like this is actually a quote. I want to read it out word for word because it's really nice. Inaction breeds fear and doubt. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit at home, honey, and think about it. Go and get busy by Dale Carnegie. Dale Carnegie wrote a book. He's a speaker or something. That name sounds influential. I think I know that name. I'm trying to remember where I know that name from. But like literally the quote says it all. It says it all, because if you stay at home and you're thinking about, oh, I really want to do this, but I can't really do this, I can't, you get stuck. You're like literally like some people, you get into like this panic attack of not being able to do stuff, and that's crazy, because you can literally just leave your house. Like anytime I leave my house, when I feel like, oh, I want to do something and it's not working out, maybe like my lighting is not good or something like that, anytime I go out, I always feel better, because maybe, I don't know, maybe it's the air, maybe it's the sun, but I always feel better, because even if it doesn't, going out didn't solve my problem, in the sense of I didn't get what I wanted, but like it put me in a better headspace than staying inside the house and not doing anything, than think and worry and just be in a sulky mood or something like that. So literally move your body, leave your house. It really helps. Yeah, just saying. I'm not saying that you should always like be on the move 24/7. Please rest. I'm a preacher of rest, but there, you know, there is also time for reflection, because like this past year, like 2022, 2023, I've been looking at the past year, and I've just been seeing some things I did right, some things I did wrong. So like, you need to create time for you to also pause and look at things that you did to find out ways to upgrade and do things better. And so you have a good result than doing things on autopilot mode. It's not going to help anybody, but that doesn't mean that you should be stuck in that mode for like a year again. That won't make anything better, trust me. It won't make your problem better, it won't make it easier, because if you over reflect you will actually be stuck again. Yeah, can't really help it. I usually say this thing like, knowledge is not skill, and it's funny, quote me anywhere, knowledge is not skill. There is this space I listen to on Twitter, but not the knowledgeable broke man. I love that name. I think it's hosted by Zeus and few other Texas and tech bros. Amazing people. I love them. I actually got into that space because of Sarah. Sarah from Mara. She's so nice. Gorgeous lady, beautiful lady, so intelligent, so lovely, so everything good. That's Sarah. So she posted it on her status and I was like, oh my god, because I love listening to space. Skill is actually knowledge plus 10,000 times. You have to do 10,000 times, and this was actually said by Suzuki Sinching. I don't know if I'm saying the name right, but that's who made the quotes. So you have to do something 10,000 times, and that has been my goal with like YouTube now. I just want to create 1,000 videos, and I want to see how it feels to make 1,000 videos and be like, I worked on 1,000 videos. I did it anyway. It wasn't the perfect video, but I did it anyway. It wasn't beautiful. I did it anyway. It wasn't perfect. I did it anyway. It hadn't had the best quality, but I did it anyway. I put in the work and I put it out there, because it's very powerful to know that you did something than you just give yourself excuse. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do the best work that you can do. Please do the best that you can do, but also like, output is actually very important. It's very key, because you can work on one thing for so many hours, so many days, so many weeks, but you just produced one versus somebody that produced like 100, and that 100 will make you know that you learned so many things. But if you're just practicing with one video for so long, there's only so much that you can learn while trying to make one video, than when you're trying multiple videos with different styles and different prompts and everything. I just really feel that it's powerful. I've been listening to so many podcasts and books about that, and it's really been my drive recently, and I've been on the grind. So let's see how our 1,000 video will be. Now we are going to talk about the fixed mindset. Fixed mindset is actually like one of the craziest things in the world, because I can't believe that there are people that actually think like this. Like, they have a fixed mindset about like the kind of money they can make, the kind of clothes they will have, the friends that they will have surrounding them, their athletic prowess, their intelligence, and all that stuff. Is crazy, but people actually have fixed mindset about this. Like, they feel like they cannot do better than this. This is my height, and you can't tell me nothing. Like, you can't even help them out of that situation. That's why I really preach. It's very important for you to know the people that you surround yourself with, because if you surround yourself with people with fixed mindsets, because they're already ready, they're not going to ever be ready to come out of that space. They're going to drag you down to that spot to have that fixed mindset with them. So you can move aside and pray for them from a distance. It's safer than to change your own growth mindset into that. So what's a growth mindset? A growth mindset flourishes. A growth mindset sees a failure and says, that's my opportunity to grow, that's my opportunity to be better, that's my opportunity to improve a skill that I really love and desire and want to share with the world. They have like this different perspective, and it's really beautiful and amazing to see, because not a lot of people have this. So it's refreshing. It's like a fresh glass of chilled water on a hot sunny Lagos afternoon. Yes, it's just refreshing, and I really feel like a lot of people need this kind of mindset, because it makes things easier. It makes you be able to flourish in any kind of case scenario you see yourself, because like somebody sees themselves in oh God, like I'm never going to leave the house, it's raining. And you're like, oh my God, it's raining. It hasn't rained in like 2 days. I'm really happy to see the rain. Do you understand? You're like overly cheerful, and you just see like the positivity in everything, and it's just really beautiful to see, because like your headspace is even going to be like in a different zone. It's like you're like SpongeBob seeing the world in rainbows. And why did my mind go to SpongeBob? Like you're like SpongeBob seeing the world in rainbows, and what's the other guy? Plankton is like seeing the world like in a war zone kind of like affair, and you're just seeing the world in rainbows, and it's just so refreshing to see, because like things just like flourish for you, even when you're hot. Like I mean by failure or like wake up or something like that, you flourish for me because you already have like a growth mindset. So things don't really pull you down that much, because you know that you will get out of it, and it's so powerful and getting ahead. You know who the most powerful therapist is in the entire world? Life. Did you get it? Yes, life is actually the most powerful, beautiful, influential therapist ever known. And you know what? She's actually quite expensive. You can't afford her. You can't afford her. Can you afford her? Nobody can. Nobody can. Nobody can. Literally, it's only God that can give you life. So like that's why she's the most influential therapist. You can't pay her bills. You can actually like rewire your brain from like old habits, your old life, and that's like the beautiful thing about being in your 20 somethings. You can literally like rewire everything. Like you have been taught that you can't make more than maybe 100K, and you're like, that's a lie. I can do more than 100K. I can do this. And you do it, and you're like so proud of yourself, because like you did what people said you could never do. You rewired your brain to think that you can do this. This is why I enjoyed reading Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, because he like loses so much weight, getting into the navy. Like oh my God, that was so beautiful to see, because like I even feel like he even knew like deep down he was feeling like he couldn't do it, but he rewired his own brain. He changed his own mechanical settings and said, I'm going to do this anyway. And it's so powerful. Why am I saying powerful? It's amazing to see, literally. And I wish that for anybody watching this video, there has to be like a part of your life that you want to like wire your settings and say, I can do this. And I really hope that you do that. Please write it down and say, I want to change this habit of mine. I want to do it's, and just work on it. Like just have an idea, 2 or 3 ideas on how you want to do this, and look at that book often. Write it down and look at that book often. It's a really powerful tool. I write everything down, and it has never failed me, to be honest. Little changes comes from getting along and getting ahead. You change your situation from like maybe not being able to like pay your bills, being able to pay your bills, and like is this positive personality change that actually like brings along the term of getting ahead and getting along. I've listened to this in a podcast, but like 67% of like students that left a higher institution, some people wrote down their goals, some people didn't, and only the people that like higher percentage of people that wrote down their goals were able to like achieve the goals that they had set out for themselves, than people that didn't write out their goals. Does this make any sense? How can I rephrase that? Let's just say that writing a goal makes you more confident and more likely to even achieve any goal that you set out for yourself than not even having a goal at all. Like just writing it out and saying, I have this goal to make $1.5 billion in a year, it gives you more confident. You're more happy with yourself to say, oh my God, I have this beautiful goal, even if it's like it looks unattainable for your present self. But it's more than just the present now when we are setting goals, because we have long-term goals, we have short-term goals. Watch this video on goal setting. It's really really nice. I really enjoyed making it, and I'm really happy that I helped somebody out there. So we're going to talk about something else, which is everybody. We talk about fertility. In our 20 somethings, nobody's thinking about babies. A lot of people are having the A word. I don't want to say it because I don't support it. So I don't. Yeah. If you can avoid it, so there's no need hurting that poor baby that you brought into this world. Okay. So yeah, I'm giving my opinion. Yes. So Yeah, a lot of people don't think about fertility because we are young and we have time, and it's crazy. But I think we should start thinking about, Meg Jay thinks about, and I support her. Like, do you want kids? Have you thought about it? Because that makes you to even think about getting a partner. When you say, oh, you want a child, okay, do you want to get it from a man, or do you want to go out through an IVF, or do you want to do this? You start thinking about these things and start thinking about your timeline, rather than just saying, oh, when the time comes, we'll think about that. Because trust me, the time will come and it will not make it easier. That's what we are saying. Because of we are young, we're in our 20s, we keep on thinking that time is all the way there and not here, because it looks so far away, but it's actually closer than we think. We'll leave it up to, oh, I have work, I'm so busy, oh God, my family members depend on me, I need to do this, do that, all that. Let me tell you, she talked about like the difficulties like that her own patients go through, and coming back for therapy and all that. But like, women be going through stuff to like have babies, like the IVF procedures, the payments, the trauma, the everything that you have to go through just to have a child. And also it's a 50-50. You might show up without a child, and even if you do the surrogacy thing, it might not come out well. There's so many things to, like, it's just like easier that you start thinking about it now than pushing it into the future, because it will help to help put a lot of things into perspective about marriage, and thinking that work is getting in your way, because it's not. To be honest, it's not. If you think about it, it's not. So do the math. Say, where will I be in 5 years, 10 years? Because another amazing quote, let's read it out. Be ruled by time is by Plutarch, who is a historian. And I just listened to a talk by Jim Rohn, amazing man. He talks about, like, if you don't think about where every second and minute of your day is going towards, you're just going to think that you have time, and the next thing you're saying, oh, where did all the time go to, because you never even thought about, like, that you spent maybe like 10 hours scrolling on TikTok. Is that scary? Yes, is that scary? Because you have not been thinking about, oh, I have to do this and do that. And when you think, oh, but I did something today, I did some work, and you realize that you spent just 10 minutes at work and 10 hours on TikTok, trust me, you're going to reprioritize. Time is actually a very funny thing, because in school we have like time for the rev, we have time to wake up, time to go for morning mass, and so many things. So like our time is like really surrounded around so much. But like when you leave school, it's like it's the first time you're out and about in the world by yourself, no restrictions. Like you're this human being, and there are just like endless possibilities, and you're supposed to like make use of this time and achieve something huge, something big for yourself. And it's quite scary, and that's why like you have to like do the math with your time and know how you spend your time. So there was this like beautiful experiment, let me get her name, by Castenza. She used VR, which is virtual reality, and she put like a couple of 20-something-year-olds and like made them look into the mirror. Some had to look into themselves, like present self, like looking into the mirror and seeing themselves. Then some people had to look into the future and like allocate the amount of money they would want to save each month into their retirement account. Let's think about this. Who do you think put in the most money? Please put your comment down in the comment section before you actually like continue watching this video. I'm going to give you a minute. I hope you've done it. Do it. So actually, the people that put in more money, we are people that had to look into the mirror and see their older selves. So the people that had to see their own selves put in like $76, and people that had to see their future self put in like 176 point something cents. And it actually made sense, because when you're looking into the future and seeing like, oh, this is what I could be like maybe, if you don't work out now, this is how you're going to look. It actually puts you into action, and you put in so much work than just thinking, oh, when I get like older, I'll start working out, or I'll start saving better, or all this like in like tiny habits that you need to start changing now, because it's actually going to affect your future life. Yeah, do the math, darling. Love you, spinner. Okay, do that. There's nothing wrong with actually this thing that happened with our 20-something-year-olds, because it's just like a human tendency. Like, we tend to like rationalize things that come later on. Like, we be like, it's still for our head and there's nothing wrong with it. And but what makes it more conversant with the 20-somethings is like older people will actually rub your back and tell you there's nothing wrong with you allocating small money, that you still have so much time. They rub your back and rub your head and tell you that you have so much time, which is a big fat lie. Yes, because you have to start thinking about, you have to do the math and think about it earlier on than later on, because it might be too late for you to go back. And also compound interest, it's your bank, you want to make that bank. And compound interest is like, I don't know, I don't think I should go into it. I'm not a financial expert, but like, I know compound interest is, if you save $1 every week for like 4 years, you would get what? How many weeks are there in a year? But you would basically get more on compound interest. That's if you're keeping it in a bank or something, or not in your house, than if you save $40 for 2 weeks, because the compound interest you will get over a longer time would be much than if you just save bulks in a short while. That's actually just it. So yeah, that's it. So let's get into something else, which is some cultures use the term called Memento Mori. I don't know which language this is. Display skeletons and decaying flowers to show you that you, my friend, are mortal, and you have a limited amount of time in this planet called Earth to achieve all your dreams and desires. So it's better you get on with it and stop waiting for later on and start enjoying yourself, start spending your money. God even says this. I literally read this today in the Bible in Ephesians 3:15, I think. Yes, no, not 3:15, but it's in chapter 3, Ephesians 3, where God was saying, like, the money that where's this in Bible app? The money that you're getting, though, all the things that you're working hard for, you are to enjoy that, because it's a gift from God to you. I don't think it's Ephesians 3, because I read the Bible app this morning too. But basically what God is telling is that all these things that you're working hard for, please enjoy it. Stop postponing your enjoyment. Enjoy it now. Enjoy it now. We are team enjoyment. Enjoy it now. Okay? Hi. So the last topic is on faith. So if you're a Christian, it's time for you to start building your relationship with God, because it's how you start laying the foundation that will literally project how the rest of your life is going to be like. So I'm talking about like reading the Bible. I have this Bible app and I love it so much because there are like streaks in it, and it's really like exciting, because like our human brain loves to be stimulated by rewards, like having like streaks for like passing like 1 week, 2 weeks. I'm currently on day 22 because like it's a new year. So actually today is the 25th and I'm doing a great job because I didn't start on the 1st. Don't tell anybody. So yeah, when you have a strong relationship with God, it's easier for you to get over like temptations and to watch your mouth and to watch the way that you act. It's just easier because with God everything is possible, and in Him there is peace and serenity. So yeah, that's what I would love to talk about. Just try to start building a relationship with God. Human relationships matter, but relationship with like the supreme being that brought all of us to earth, which is God, matters most. And of course, the perfect way to end this would be with an epilogue on would things work out for you. Of course things will work out for you, darling, because now you've already read this life-changing book. I trust that you're going to actually put out things that you learned into practice, and not just like read it and keep it among your readings like you've read it. No, if you read a book and you don't apply it, it's just a waste. Literally, you just wasted your time. You have to read and implement what you read. Let me read off what I wrote. So at the end of the day, everything is actually in your hands. The future isn't written on the stars or in the moon or in the sun, anywhere. So claim your life, be intentional, get to work, pick your family, pick your friends, and do the math, most importantly. I love you, Spinner, and I hope that this video was quite helpful. If it was, why don't you share with a friend, okay? Because you also want your friends to grow, right? And I love you. Have a beautiful day. Please remember to subscribe. That would be the only thing you're literally doing to help me put out more videos, and like this video so you can tell YouTube algorithm that this is a good video and you would want someone else to watch it and learn. I love you and have a beautiful day. And I hope that wait, okay, thank God it's still filming because I thought it wasn't filming again. Go up, ma'am. Go up, ma'am. Please go up. I'm going to just be sleek.